Hi, everyone. This is Hal Krosman with Screenwriting U. And tonight, for the alumni only, we're going to be talking about what we learned from 200 script requests that are currently happening. We have a group that's marketing. Here's their score at the present moment. Uh, I just checked. They had 221 script requests as of right now. We have 3 deals that have happened. We have two others that are being talked about and in the works, and we're waiting on agreements. So this group has been kicking ass, and it's been an incredibly fun experience to be able to go through this. I think they'll tell you that. So let me just kind of walk you through my thinking and what's been happening, and how things are working right now. So first, it's like I think there's a serious need out there, and it's not just me, it's everybody thinks this. If you look at the streamers, we're just now starting to see some new things showing up, some new shows, some new movies, those kinds of things. But they need it. It's like we've got more than 2 years that the streamers have been sitting there dead. And hardly anything changed during that period of time. So they need content badly. And so that's one of the big things that's driving things right this moment. On top of that, producers need projects too. And that's what we've seen with this group is a lot of producers who uh, previously would have been, just kind of like, oh, I don't know, maybe go ahead and send me something, seem to be very excited that writers are sending them strong pitches. Uh, and that makes a difference. We also have a couple of writing assignments that are being talked about right now. So there's a very good chance that we're going to have at least one or two of those that are going to come out in the next week. So they're, all you got to do is put a strong project in front of a producer right now. And then if they don't say yes to it, propose the possibility of a writing assignment. If you know what you're doing, this will go well. Uh, so, and then, of course, our writers need to break in and get produced. Right now, and I'd say the next 4 or 5 months is going to be a really strong time for this. Even if you don't join us for the upcoming class, consider marketing and going out and using some of the insights I'm going to give you today. Uh, you need to get into the market. It's like if we talk about the difference between right now and probably a year from now in the future, I would say right now you have 3 to 4 times the chance of success. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't still market a year from now, but it does mean you should get into the market now. So the opportunity, first, we're there when they need us most, right? And I think that's really incredible. The timing, or it's really important. The timing it's like we couldn't ask for a better time right now, and more need. We're coming in with great projects. That also creates an opportunity because even producers who maybe aren't considering very much suddenly go, oh my God, that's worth me taking a risk on. We're coming in with great pitches. I'm going to show you how that works here in just a little bit. But we've got some ways to come up with some amazing pitches that give you a much better chance of success. And we're coming in to do writing assignments, which again, if you think about where we've been, the last 2 years, the industry has been shut down because of the strikes. We had about a year of work before that, and then the 2 years before that, we had pandemic. So this is like the ultimate time to be presenting this because producers have ideas, they have things that they need, they have projects they need written. They also likely somewhere in there have optioned books. So it's a good time to be doing writing assignments too. So, and we understand how to work with producers and managers, so they love working with you guys. They absolutely do. I have had so many of them tell me that working with you was amazing for them. And that's because you were willing, you had the skills, you know what you're doing, you got a great attitude. They are so lucky to meet you, and I'm serious about that. So, so here are some of the things that we've learned. Give me a moment here. And this one is really important. You need high quality pitches. The problem is the hardest part of writing is creating a great pitch, you know. And if we had a show of hands, my guess is most of you would agree with me. It's much easier to write a script that you feel passionate about and you love, and you're going through the process and you're creating every day and all of that, than to take it and bring that 100-page script down to half a page and make it incredibly compelling when you have 100 pages in your mind. So this is the hardest part. We have a couple of solutions for this. First thing is you start with your most marketable project. This makes a big difference. If you've written 10 scripts, one of them is more marketable than the others. Start with that. Lead with that. Go into producers with something that is the easiest thing you could possibly pitch, right? It's like I went through this with one person, and they were like, no, I want to pitch my other scripts. I'll come back with that one if the others don't work. And it's like, that's a losing strategy. And that's what happened for that person. So far, they've had 0 script request on pitching the others. I wish they would have considered this strategy. So we start with the most marketable project. You lead with that. You get in the door with a healthy relationship with the producer. Also, you are coming in and they are seeing you as an incredible writer from the beginning. And let's be clear, just so everybody knows, the first thing they see is your pitch, right? It's if you're on Zoom and they're talking with you, then they see you, but they're listening to that pitch, and that's what's making the difference. First thing they see if you're sending a query letter or if you're pitching them on LinkedIn or through Virtual PitchFest or some other place, first thing is the pitch. So you want to go in with a marketable project. Second part, use our AI prompts. I'm going to show you some of these. This last group, we only had, if I'm correct, we only had one AI prompt that we used, and that was for a query letter. But we have since created a series of prompts that will help you in every part of the marketing process. So we'll talk about that. So the AI prompts we have are for query letter, for LinkedIn pitch, for Zoom pitch, for phone pitch, and a bunch of others. And I'll show you a couple of those in just a bit. And then we also have an AI prompt for producers' questions that we have done a really good job of creating the prompt, so it really does answer in a way that makes sense. So that'll also show you. So second thing, you need to be empowered. You need to be empowered. Here's the problem. A lot of people are living in fear of marketing. And how you see this, by the way, is somebody comes in and they go, well, I'll send out some and then I'll see how they respond. And it's like what they're really saying is, I'm going to give up and go hide as soon as I get anything I call rejection. And I don't believe in this fantasy about rejection, by the way, in this industry. I don't believe it. And later on at some point in life, I'll tell you why I don't believe it. But in general, what I'd say is most people have a tendency to create their own rejection, and they do it early on. They do it as they're creating their pitch. They do it as they're making their first decisions. How many people am I going to market to? I've watched people before quit on day 3, and I knew they were going to quit 4 weeks before that, maybe even 2 or 3 months before that, because they were already telling us that, you know what, if it doesn't work, well, I'll go back and work on my script. And it's like, That makes no sense if you're marketing. If you are marketing, it's not about working on your script. It's about going out to as many producers as possible. So the first part that we do here is we build empowerment into every step of the marketing process. Because if you're coming into this feeling strong, feeling capable, knowing that you are going to market every single day until you get a script or the deal that you want or whatever it is, if you are coming into it like that and you stay with that, you focus on the things that keep you empowered, you are going to be so much more successful. And we're building empowerment into this process from about four different perspectives. One of them is I've got a bunch of different empowerment processes that came from neurolinguistic programming. I'm a master practitioner in NLP and have been for 30 years. But I redesigned some of their stuff so that it works perfectly for what we're doing. So we will build empowerment in from day one. Second is you create a future of a deal with a producer that you feel great about. Again, back to this, when people are doing this, they're already creating a future of the day they quit, or, oh, it'll never work for me, or I'm not good enough, or any of that kind of stuff. And it's like, none of that is true, first. They're just essentially creating in their world what they're afraid of. Don't do that. Remember this, every one of us, we are creative people, right? And this is a big part of how you want to be thinking about this thing of how do you create your life as well as your script. We are creative people. What we tell our creative mind to create, it will create around us. So just our job is to constantly be creating that future. I have, again, a bunch of processes for being able to do that. But by the time we're done, you will see success in your future. That's what we're doing. Now, the other part, marketing is fun. And this, at different times I've had fun marketing and sometimes I haven't. And it's always been about me. It's not about the market. It's not about the producers. It's not about anything else. It's about the person marketing. So marketing, I say, is fun. The problem is a lot of times people are focused on fear. Let's not do that. Instead, what we're going to do is focus on the excitement. And this is what we've been doing with this group. I got to tell you, this has been one of the funnest groups I've worked with because people are going for it. They're doing what it takes to make things happen. We have a bunch of people in there who are just giving it their all, and that makes it a fun ride, right? We're doing this as a game, and you're getting to do it with your alumni friends. So this is a group that's incredibly encouraging. That's what we saw in this one. It's what's going to happen in the future one. We cheer each other on all the way through, and we celebrate successes. So again, let me just tell you the difference between that and what people do when they're focusing on fear. What people do when they're focusing on fear is they tell everybody about the rejection. They tell everybody how difficult it is, how problematic it is. And they just go on and on about that. And they want everybody to buy in to their pain. We're not doing that. So this right here, this doesn't come into the class. We're doing this. And your job is, if you're marketing, your job is to do it as a fun adventure. I learned this from Cheryl. So, it would every time we would start to market a project, and she would get on the phone the first day and find three or four small producers that she would pitch until we got the pitch right. And during that period of time, a lot of times she was going, no, it didn't work, handing it back to me, and I'm revising the pitch and we're trying other things. And then she'd get back on the phone and do it again. Once we started marketing, she took on this frame, and she was fun and excited and happy and calling more people because some didn't answer the phone, so she's going to go back to them again. She's going to call the next person. And we get script requests every single day. And we keep going until we have gotten everything that we wanted to get, and we've got it in the door to all the producers we want to get, and then we have just as much fun doing the follow-up calls. So this is a game. This is something that you play as a game because that makes it something enjoyable and it causes you to keep moving forward. Then the other thing that we've been doing in this group, and we might have done it in a previous group, but I've started doing this in almost all of our live classes. And that is we share breakthroughs with this perspective. If they can do it, I can do it. So if you're listening to somebody say they had this major breakthrough, take it on. If you're seeing somebody who just got a deal, say that. If they can do it, I can do it. Right? If you're seeing somebody who's getting a lot of script requests, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. Start saying that to your creative mind. Start telling it every time you see somebody make a deal, every time you see one of our writers get a movie made, you should be saying this to yourself. If they can do it, I can do it. So we started sharing breakthroughs really for a couple of reasons. So people would look for the breakthroughs. Also, so they could articulate their breakthrough, therefore making it stronger for them, but also so that the entire group had those breakthroughs for themselves. So the group shares breakthroughs every step. Every time we do a live meeting, we end with breakthroughs and questions. When a strategy works, they share it with everyone. And we just had that with a couple of people who tried something that we weren't sure of and came back and reported that, yeah, this really worked. It got me in a bunch of extra doors. And so other writers started doing it, right? We're learning from marketing to producers. We're learning from marketing to managers. Instead of reading about marketing or hearing somebody else's thing, it's like, if you're in the game, every breakthrough that somebody else has makes a difference for you. So this is, again, that's why I would encourage you to get into the game. So, and then in this case, you get the experience of 30 different writers sharing their breakthroughs. And so that can shift. We've had lots of people who the next week would say, wow, Brian said this one thing, and I thought, yeah, I could do that too. And they started doing it. So hearing other people's breakthroughs can change your life if you go with this. If they can do it, I can do it. So, and then here was one of the other things we learned. It's about your deal-making philosophy. So, problem, being afraid you'll make a mistake on a deal. This is the number one thing that we run into. I've now worked with, I don't know, I've probably directly worked with at least 500 or 600 of you, 500 or 600 of our alumni writers as they made a deal. This is the major thing we run into. They're afraid that they'll make a mistake. It's like, and a lot of the other things that they say all come from this also. Our perspective is a little different. First, you need to know, what is a deal really about? Is it about perfection, or is it about moving your writing career forward? The people who are afraid they'll make a mistake, a lot of times they're wanting the perfect deal, and there is no such thing until you get to A-list. When you get to A-list, you can get your perfect deal. Our job is to get you moving up that ladder towards A-list so you have the chance to make that perfect deal. Now, please, by the way, if anybody here is feeling bad because I mentioned, being afraid of making a mistake or talking about perfectionism or any of that kind of thing, please relax and know that the more you learn this stuff, the stronger you become the more willing you are to take risk, the more willing you are to step out there and make something happen. And because of that, the more success you have. So the other thing is our job is to replace fear-based thinking with deal-making strategies. So this is one of the things we cover during the period of time when we're marketing, so that when you do get a deal, you're able to immediately kind of step into this new philosophy and be successful. And then just be thinking this. This is the other thing. This one's the afraid of making mistakes, but this is the other one. Your deal is not about somebody else's judgments. Please know that. Uh, it's I I know it's kind of hard to think outside of that box, but a lot of people are worried, what if I make this deal and everybody says it's a bad deal or that kind of thing. First thing I'd tell you is this. Once you make a deal, it's none of their business what your deal is. So this is not, we don't ask people to tell each other the terms of their deals or any of those kinds of things. That doesn't matter. All those other people's judgments, that's their own personal issues. That's their own fears speaking. Uh, don't let somebody tell you you've made a bad deal. Move forward, do what the deal is, get the movie made, become more successful, and grow into A-list. And over time, those other people who had judgments will be talking about how they used to know you win, kind of thing. So that's where we're all going. So let me do this demonstration, but here I'll tell you what this is about. I'm going to show you some marketing and pitching prompts. Uh, this is the thing that most people at least say to me, is that when we get to creating our pitches, it's really hard. Especially since what I'm trying to do is to have people create the kind of pitches that will have producers go out of their way to work with you. So our solution on this, and you're actually the first group that will be getting all of this. I'm going to show you a query letter prompt, a phone pitch prompt, and the answers to producers prompt, so that you can see how each one of those works. So just a moment here, and let's go over here. Yeah. So this is ChatGPT. You know it, I'm sure. And here what we're doing is we're using it to create pitches, because it's actually, with the prompts that we have, it's actually become pretty good at it. So let me just walk you through it. I put in my information for it, and here it's creating a query letter. Now, take a look at this for a moment. This is just right off the bat. I already love this, and I'll tell you why in a second. But here's what this comes down to. When you're creating a query letter, the biggest problem is getting them to choose to read it. You are sending them an email or you're sending it in some other form, and the producers, I've sat there in their offices and watched them look at query letters. And what they do is they go to this query letter, they glance, and then they move on to the next one, they glance at it, and they're trying to decide if there's something there to read. So what we do, and this came straight from me interviewing 50 producers, is we give them an opening hook, right? This is the opening hook. She's in a wedding dress when the space station explodes again. We give them a middle hook. Her fiance escaped 3 minutes before the blast every single time. And a final hook. How would you stop a traitor who remembers every loop just like you? So this movie is about a time loop, an exploding space station with a time loop that happens over and over. What I'd like you to see is we've got it. I gave it the information. I basically laid out a summary. It came back and gave me the 3 hooks because we programmed it that way. It gave us the first act right here, the setup, and it gave us the main conflict of the second and third act right here. So any producer that even reads one of these hooks will go, okay, I'll give it a chance. And now they're reading this. And then there's another hook. All right, I'll give it a chance. And now they're reading this. And then another hook. We have caught their interest multiple times, and everything we said in between mattered to the producer. Now, here's the other part to this prompt. Instead of just asking for this one, I ask it to also give us alternative hooks. So here's 5 other possible hooks. She dies at her wedding and wakes up to do it all again. All right, not bad. I'm not, not saying these are perfect, but the wedding was a lie. The explosion, real and repeating. Maybe. So it's got 5 extra opening hooks, 5 extra middle hooks, 5 extra final hooks. Let's go back for a second. What's happening here is this. You send this query letter to any producer, they're going to look and they're going to see that you can do the things the other writers can't. And this isn't an exaggeration. I think our writers are better than 99% of the writers out there. And I have worked with 2,000 of our alumni writers who all but a few had problems creating their hooks. It's the hardest thing there is to do. And some of you know, some of you have been in those classes. It's like, it's difficult. And so what this does is make it simple. It takes the hardest part, the things other people can't do, and it makes it incredibly easy. Let me show you the second one here. So now we're going to have it give us phone pitches. And I'm having it, again, give us phone pitches based on specific things. Here we're leading with a high concept. Let's see what it says. Hi, this is Hal Krosman. I'm an option screenwriter. I have a sci-fi thriller called Vanquished. It's Groundhog Day on an exploding space station. That might be enough right there to get them to request the script on the phone. What I want you to notice is we're not telling the whole story. We're going right to the thing that has them go, oh, okay, I can sell that. Here's the second one. And these, by the way, if you didn't like these, you just simply run it again, maybe change the information you put in, that kind of thing. It'll give you phone pitches. This one, I have a sci-fi thriller called Vanquished, where a female scientist must solve the biggest mass murder in the universe, her own. Okay, possibly. Let's see this one, leading with comps. Sci-fi thriller, Vanquished. It's Edge of Tomorrow meets The Fugitive, but set on a doomed space station. All right, not bad. Again, this is one of those things where you try it. If it works for you, you keep it and you use it. If it doesn't work, you just come back and do another brainstorm session, change a little bit of what you put in, and you can end up with some pretty high quality phone pitches that are short to the point. They work in 15 to 20 seconds, and the producer hears what you're saying. That is 100 times better than trying to tell them a long story on the phone. Now, I want to take it another step for you. So here, this is producer questions. And I just put in, I think I put in 4 of the questions, but I want you to see what it does. It took us a long time to get it to where it would do this. So if the producer says, where does this story belong? Where do you see this going? What's the home for your project? You've already read this stuff. So you stand back and you say, okay, Netflix is a possibility. They've had some sci-fi thrillers like The Midnight Sky and I Am Mother, right? They love female-led high concept stories. You've got an answer. Amazon, The Peripheral and The Expanse show they invested in. Those are layered sci-fi thrillers that fit, okay? Apple, with projects like Silo and Foundation, they love sci-fi, right? And it's like you've got an answer to this. You're not just going, oh, I don't know, when they ask that. You're not going, well, I haven't really thought of it. You not only can tell them where, but you can tell them what projects they've already done there and why they might love it. Answering this way has producers see you as a pro. Also, let me just say something else. You're not also just going on and telling them, everything, every detail about that stuff. You are going right to the point. You are giving them something that has them believe they can sell it. I want you to get that. I'm not just saying, first, I'm not doing the minimal. I'm not just saying, oh, maybe next Netflix. Second, I'm not doing the maximum and telling them every detail of what Netflix like. I'm going straight to the two things that will have them go, oh, I may be able to sell it there, right? Let's go to another one here. Casting ideas for the main roles. Here's our lead character, Dr. Evelyn Hart. Possibilities, Emily Blunt, which, by the way, you don't know anything about this story, but Emily Blunt would be amazing. Rebecca Ferguson, yes. Natalie Dormer, yeah, okay. Then we have three for the lead male. We have three for the AI, the voice of the AI. Three possibilities for the main supporting character in the situation, right? Again, you have answers, and you have answers that make sense, that you can tell them why. This guy brings warmth and emotional weight. I like that. So, and then, then here's a list of possible genre comps. Edge of Tomorrow, we said that before. Annihilation, Cloverfield Paradox, Moon, Arrival. Okay, yeah. So, and then this question. I don't hear this very often, but when I do, if you have great answers, you're in business. If you don't have great answers, it's over. So this one, why this? Why now? Why you? I was sitting in a production company. I think it was Radar Pictures, across from the producer. I said my pitch, and this was the first time it happened. And he goes, just if you can, just tell me why this, why now, why you? And I was like, what? And he goes, okay, why this? Why this project? And I babbled out whatever answer I had. Afterwards, I went back, I wrote all of these down, and I said, we need a solution. So here's possible answers. Why this project? Because it combines action, sci-fi, mystery. All right, yeah. Twist-heavy narrative. Yeah, led by a flawed, unforgettable heroine. That may be the best thing it just said. We'll see. Why now? Audiences are hungry for smart, female-driven thrillers that challenge time, trust, and technology. I totally agree with that one. Why am I the right person? In this case, I'm saying I'm an option screenwriter who specializes in high-concept sci-fi thrillers. That maybe it's just simple, it's to the point, you're in business. Now, again, so this is what I just showed you was three of the 6 or 5 prompts that we have. Each one of them makes your pitch better, makes your responses better, shows you as a pro. That's what we're trying to accomplish as we're getting you in front of producers. So just a second here. So let me just walk you through the upcoming program because, again, this one I thought we had a lot of success with. I was really, really happy. And we're not done yet. They're still marketing. We're at 212 script requests and 3 deals, and there's going to be more. I think they're going to end up close to 300 script requests, and probably between 5 to 10 deals. I can't tell. Usually when we come to usually in the 3rd week of marketing, we're getting 1 or 2 deals. By the 4th week, then that's when all of those script requests start paying off. So this is the upcoming program. It's divided into three parts. First, we do basically a pre-class get together. We're going to meet on a Sunday at 1 p.m. This will be about how do you select the main project you're going to pitch. And if you're thinking about following it up with another pitch, how do you select that second project? It's then about getting ready, getting your script ready and everything else. Step number 2, then we start the 4-week prep for market. This is 4 weeks where every single session is dedicated to getting you ready for market. We are better at this now than any other time in the past. This group went into market and they were totally prepared. You're going to create your bait, which is during this period of time, you're going to create your pitches. You'll create all the pitches that you need, and you're going to create your plan. At that point, then we will go into 4 weeks of aggressive marketing. So this isn't, hey, let's just see what happens kind of thing. You come in going, I'm here for aggressive marketing. I am here to go for it. I'm going to be a player in this game. I am going to do everything I possibly can to succeed, and I'm going to have fun doing it. So as a group, we'll all market nonstop. We'll report in every single day. We will cheer on successes as they happen. And so this is the whole thing. Now, let me just kind of walk you through it step by step. You already know why we market as a group. It motivates you. We cheer each other on. You're inspired by others' success. You see different marketing strategies in action. You get over 100 questions asked. We're in week number 4. We're 3 days into week number 4. We've already gone over 100 questions that I've answered. And those questions are all about what's happening in the market or with the producer or how to respond to the producer. So you're allowed to ask questions as we go. I answer them most nights at midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning as I'm finishing my day. And by the next morning, you have the answer and you respond to the producer. This does 2 things. One is it has you be able to work with them in time as a pro. But the second is you are going to be learning from every one of these questions. So from this point on, anytime you interact with a producer or a manager or an agent, you are coming from this database, essentially. You know what you're doing. And then our objective is that you have a much better chance of success, and we celebrate those wins. So here's the details. The pre-class. This one, I think, happens in 2 Sundays. How to choose what project you'll pitch. You want to make a good choice there. Where to get feedback on your scripts so that you can start rewriting them. You're going to have about a month and a half between the pre-class and when we start actually working on our marketing. So I want you to get feedback early on your script and have it reworked before we get there. How to do your rewrite quickly and easily. That's going to be important to you. And then we will start at the very beginning, building empowerment and success into the future. So this happens from day 1, and it will shift things for you. That meeting is on Sunday, June 8th, 1 p.m. Usually it's about a 2 to 3 hour meeting, and I'll answer all your questions in it as we go through it. So then step 2, we go into 4 weeks of prep. We're going to meet every Sunday during that period of time, but you will be working the whole week to improve things. Assume that you're probably going to put in somewhere between an hour and a half, about an hour and a half a day. Just assume that, because the more you prep for this market, the more success you'll have when we get to it. So you're going to be creating your query letters and your pitches. So I'll give you all those prompts when we get to this point, and you will work with them. We'll do them. Maybe we'll do them over 2 weeks so that you can work with a couple of them. elevate your query letters, then move to the next set at that point. That will give you everything you need to be able to interact with producers. You're going to select your marketing strategies, and we'll go over the different marketing strategies. You can choose whichever ones you feel work best for you. We will practice pitching together. This is something that is low stress. It's actually fun. But you'll get a chance to practice doing phone calls together. You'll get a chance to practice doing Zoom pitches or live pitches together. So by the time we actually get there, if a producer calls you up, you will feel completely confident and be able to respond to them. If you want to make phone calls or you want to do the Zoom meetings, you will have the best possible pitches to do those. And then we're going to prepare for market aggressively. And that's our job, is to prepare to market aggressively. Excuse me. This is everything. Once we get to market, the people who do this have an incredible type of Disneyland experience. The ones who stand on the sidelines and go, well, I'll just do the minimum and we'll see what happens. It's like, okay, yes, you can do that. And it's kind of a slow, you get to do that and you get to watch everybody else have a great time. I want you to, if you're going to go to Disneyland, let's get on the rides. Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. And the people who are going for it, I'm telling you, every one of the people in the group at this moment who is going for it are having an incredible time. They are having so much fun, and they're getting script requests every day. In some cases, it's like I've seen a couple of them getting 3, 4, 5 script requests a day because they were marketing aggressively. There's no harm in marketing aggressively. You don't lose anything. You don't lose that much time. It's just a matter of clicking the button, a bunch of extra times. If I'm going to send out 5 query letters, that takes me 5 clicks, maybe 2 minutes. What if I just decided to take 10 minutes and sent out 25? What if I did that? The next day, I'm going to start getting script requests from it. 2, 3, 4 days later, I'm going to get more script requests from that 25. And the next day I've done 40. And the day after that, I've done 50. It's incredibly easy to do this. All it takes is you just deciding and being empowered. And once you see the quality of your pitch, by the way, you'll stand back and go, oh man, I got to get it out to as many producers as possible. So again, this one starts on July 13th. What I told you before was the pre one, the getting ready. This one is, now we're doing the 4 weeks of prep. Then we go here. We're marketing aggressively. Here, you're going for it. You are marketing or pitching every single day. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be with it, the more fun it will be for you. We field script requests at this point. We interact with producers and managers, and our job is to just constantly create the opportunities for deals. This is the whole thing you're doing with marketing. Create as many opportunities as you possibly can for the possibility of getting a deal. I answer questions every day to make sure that you succeed. The marketing part starts on August 10th. It goes for 4 weeks. It's 1 p.m. every Sunday during that period of time. So one more thing on this. During the marketing right now, here's what we're now doing. We're adding skills each week. So week number 1 is all about marketing to producers. We've been working with that and talking with it up to this point. Now I'm giving you, an overview of the skills, what you're going to do, getting you prepared, and you start marketing that day. Week number 2, then I go over how to get paid writing assignments, because we usually, at least this last time, we already had people who were being asked for paid writing assignments. So I'll give you a complete model here, and you can start adding that into how you're marketing. Week number 3, then it's about landing a manager all through this, we're still marketing to producers, but if you want to get a manager or an agent, then you use this model to get it, and you will understand them. And then week number 4, it's about deal-making strategies that will get you the success you want when you are making a deal. Now, again, here's the program. Here are the dates. You already know those. The normal price on this is $500. We've had lots of people pay that in the past. I want to give you a special that makes it easy for you. You can get in at $249. This is for the first 10. And then after that, it jumps up, and I'm sorry, but I don't know. I think it jumps up to $279 or $289. We'll have to look. Cheryl said it last night. So get in as one of the first 10. Just jump in and join us. Just decide to do this. I promise you, you will absolutely love it. Here's the link. It's bit.ly/pitch-sell-repeat. So that's for that deal. If you want a payment plan, you can get in at 3 payments of $95 each. And this one is it's bit.ly/pitch-sell-repeat-payment. Just write down whichever one of those fits for you, put it in your browser where you normally put a web address, click return, and let's do this. I got to tell you, after this last group, I'm really looking forward to working with the next one. I think, we have gone to market. Well, let's see, we did it with the master class. We did it 18 classes times 2. We went to market twice for each of those. With the Binge-Worthy class, I went to market live with them 9 or 10 times. So we've been to market like 40 some odd times. This time we've got this figured out. We're so much better than we were even back in the master class, where I thought we did an amazing job. But this is so much stronger, and I think it's so much more designed for success. So if you are wanting to sell your scripts, or if you just want to come in and just have a lot of fun with the group as you're doing it, jump in, just pick whichever works for you and come join us. We're going to have a hell of a time. So with that, I'll close it out. I'm going to leave this on the screen for those of you who would like to join us for this class. And, again, we will start. Just get this in your mind. This is 2 weeks from now, basically, or maybe slightly more than that, but it's right in that neighborhood. No, it's almost exactly 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, we will start. So you'll just come in to select your projects. And from that moment, every single day, we are moving you towards the possibility of making a deal with a producer or a manager and making things happen. So, and that's what I want for our alumni. It's time for us to get back into this market, make things happen, and have the success that we're all here for. So with that, good hanging out with you guys. I will see you in this class or somewhere else. Great talking with you.